My family and I would always turn to Jim Carrey for a good laugh. His manic facial reactions and kooky moves would always have us in stitches. That's why when I sat down to watch The Truman Show for the first time, I left feeling disappointed. Because instead of Carrey's typical comedic films, this was beyond serious. Now at the young age I was, I did not understand the brilliance behind this film until years later. But once you have the ability to pick apart this film, you'll leave the screening feeling confounded. In attempts to create a true reality TV show, Truman Berkman's life has been filmed and televised for the world to watch for over 10,909 days. A studio built big enough to trick a man into thinking he's living a normal life. Truman, completely unaware that his life is the world's source of entertainment, goes about his days as the world watches from the comfort of their home. The audience is so completely infatuated with Truman that they allow their need for entertainment to outweigh Truman's privacy and rights. By portraying a so-called real life of TV, the viewers have been tricked into thinking this is okay. And with the manipulation of Truman's life, the drama keeps them hooked. The Truman Show, portraying addiction to media long before it was considered a real issue. As Christoph, the so-called producer of The Truman Show, states,
"While the world he inhabits is in some respects counterfeit, there's nothing fake about Truman himself. No scripts, no cue cards. It isn't always Shakespeare, but it's genuine. It's a life."
Though Truman himself might not be running on script, the rest of them certainly are. Everything said by others on this show has a purpose to entertain the audience, and with Truman's obsession to get off the island, they try desperately to keep him at home through the use of persuasion. As a star falls from the sky, the obvious lighting fixture is covered up by having the radio inform Truman otherwise.
Here's a news flash just then. An aircraft in trouble began shedding parts as it flew over Sea Haven just a few moments ago. Good. Do you think it'll flying somewhere?
Nope.
Oh, good.
The lighting fixture, of course, being a form of symbolism as it signifies the start of Truman's journey of discovery to the truth. Everyone's choice of words and tone perfectly conveys the main idea that Sea Haven is perfect. Why leave?
Went all over. Never found a place like this, though. Look at that sunset, Truman. It's perfect.
Here we can see Marlon trying to use imagery to keep Truman under the delusion that where he is best. And his wife Meryl goes about it in an almost cruel fashion as she belittles him.
I want to get away. See some of the world. Explore.
Honey, you want to be an explorer. This'll pass. We all think like this now and then.
Possibly one of the most obvious attempts to keep Truman at bay is his television.
Tonight we present the enduring, much-loved classic, Show Me the Way to Go Home. A hymn of praise to small-town life where we learn that you don't have to leave home to discover what the world's all about and that no one is poor who has friends.
Everything Truman just heard was specifically chosen to apply to Truman and his situation.
Beautifully synchronized, don't you agree? Maybe I'm being set up for something. You ever think about that, Marlon? Like your whole life has been building towards something?
Truman's choice of words here are noteworthy, as we can consider them to be a form of foreshadowing, as he is being set up and his life has been built towards entertaining the masses. The scripting starts off strong, and we can see that the studio holds the power, but as Truman begins to discover what's going on, the actors begin to stumble. As things start to go belly up, Truman becomes aware that everything is about him and everyone else struggles to catch up with their lines and cues.
It's when I'm unpredictable. They can't, Anything happen?
The giveaway comes when one of the cast slips up and confirms what Truman has been thinking.
Thank you for your help. You're welcome, Truman.
Truman, now aware, starts to act out, allowing for more slip-ups from the cast.
Slice me or peel me. There's so many
Choice! No! Do something!
The syntax begins to crumble as we get farther into the movie, and actors fail to stay in character.
How do you expect me to carry on under these conditions? It's unprofessional!
As the screenwriters attempt to fix everything, they opt to tug on some heartstrings by appealing to Truman's emotions.
And the last thing I'd ever do is lie to you.
And the last thing that I would ever do is lie to you.
Once again, Christoph goes about manipulating this little world he has brought Truman into, word by word. Finally, the gig is up.
Say something, goddammit! You're on television! You're live to the whole world!
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
And Truman's well-known catchphrase perfectly wraps up his story.
Since the show is on 24 hours a day without commercial interruption, all those staggering revenues are generated by product placement.
That's true. Everything on the show is for sale, from the actor's wardrobe, food products, to the very homes they live in.
And, of course, all of it available in the Truman catalog.
Along with their desperate need to keep Truman in his bubble, the studio has to make money. And how do they do this? Through product placement.
That is a beer.
And this is seen throughout the film. In this scene, we see his wife attempting to please Truman with his new gadget, while ultimately selling it to the mass audience that is watching.
It's a chef's pal.
This film uses all the obvious tools to sell us what they think we need. For instance, the chef's pal.
It's a dicer, grater, peeler, all in one. Never needs sharpening, dishwasher safe.
Wow!
We want to buy this product now because of the ease of use and, most importantly, who's selling it. Meryl Burbank, or actor Hannah Gills, sells the products through association. Here is a beautiful, well-known woman. If she uses it, then I must too. Meryl's charisma is much like any advert from the 1950s. Here, a woman is trying to sell us a scanner, the company exploiting her looks which have nothing to do with the product, much like Meryl and her chef's pal.
You know, we really ought to throw out that mower. Get one of those new elk rotaries.
Even when things are going wrong, Meryl falls back on her selling points.
Why don't you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink? All natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mountain Nicaragua, no artificial
Her
sweeteners.
charming smile and the product in clear view of the camera. Once again, explicit claims and the use of association we wanted. The Truman Show. A truly brilliant film that dives into the problems society faces with the mass media and highlights how the media works, all while using the exact same techniques to keep you engaged. The underlying message being that it's not only Truman, the film's protagonist, who is trapped, but also the world that is addicted to watching him. Are you still watching?
What else is on?
Yeah, let's see what else is
Where's
on.
the TV guide?